Hi, welcome back. This is more or less part two of biking on a beautiful spring day. It's exactly, as far as I know, it's exactly where the video cut on the first part of it when I was on the trail, and I've just thought, since I'm so anal, that I would start the video exactly, even facing the same way, exactly pretty much where the first video of the trail journey cut. And then that way I can resume and continue the trail journey for you people who enjoy these trail videos. I shot this on I did an end of the trail and back, which is like 24 miles, on a glorious, beautiful April 1st, 2015, and I think it got up to 80 degrees. It might have been high 70s, but I do think I saw somewhere that it got up to 80. So it was just crazy, and it's right now when I'm recording the commentary and getting the video ready for upload at 6:28 p.m. and it's still in the 70s, 75 or 4, and the windows are open, and holy cow, this unfortunately is gonna go away and get back into the 50s and stuff. But I thought get on the trail and bike, take advantage of that beautiful weather. And the only problem with the beautiful weather, in that unbelievable, like probably 24, 5, 6, 7, maybe maybe more mile-an-hour wind accompanied the beautiful day. Of course, when you live where I do and the warm weather approaches or arrives, it kind of comes with wind and stuff. So the whole way there, I'm continuing to head, towards the end of the trail. The whole way there was pretty easy. It felt like the wind on my back, and then the way back was just like, So today I was actually intending just to do like 15, more minutes of the trail to upload, and then, I don't know, like I guess I thought later I'd do the last. I didn't know how many parts this would take, but it occurred to me, well, I'm just like, well, let me just let the GoPro run all the way, until the battery dies or until I hit the end of the trail. So I just hit the end of the trail with it rolling today, so I got the rest of the entire trail trip today, which clocks in at I think just under 30 minutes at 28. Well, I cut some out because on this particular video I stopped by a lake to wet the old cap and put it back on my head, because I tend to like to have a wet, especially in this warmer weather, a wet cap just kind of, I don't know, it works for me. It just keeps you kind of cool and stuff like that and whatever. So I actually cut some out of this. So it's actually the entire video or the entire time it took me to get from, which is essentially halfway, I pretty much, the video just began, this video you're watching now basically just began halfway towards, between the starting point of where I start and ride from, my place. It's a halfway point. So we're gonna, not in this video, but today oh man, I'm confusing myself. Today I shot the rest of the trail, and in this part, this is the second of 3 videos that will catalog this whole, this distance going this way to the end of the trail. And then I thought on the trail, I was like, on the way back, after I had successfully recorded the whole distance, I'm like, well, maybe I can record coming back from the other way, like after, in mid to late May or something, when all the trees, when it's all like summer green, and it's all, instead of just April or spring brown, it's everything is all greened out. I thought maybe I could, do 3 videos coming back from the end of the trail. I mean, obviously it's the same stuff, but it's from it's from the other way. So thought I might do that. There's also like another trail that branches off that I could do as well before then, if I felt so inclined. But once again, today was just, fantastic April 1st gift of like 80 degrees. It wasn't 80 when I was biking, because I went at like 11 a.m. or something like that. But it was still, warm enough for me to be basically just in a pair of sweatshorts and cap and sandals. And yesterday on that you can see as I'm topless in the last video I uploaded, the one where I'm in the kayak topless, which is called How Much Technology is Necessary. I got a nice amount of sun that day, so I started my summer tan on March 31st, so that's kind of cool. As John Candy from Summer Rentals said, that's a good base. That's a good base. You got to do these things in stages, referring to sun tanning. But as you can see, it's Evil Dead all over again. I'm going just crazy. I overdid it. I haven't been on the bike for probably, gosh, it might be the last, I can't remember, week for sure, but it might be more like 2 weeks, because the weather went back to yeah, it's 2 weeks, because I haven't been on there since like the mid-March, because the weather went back to crummy, colder temperatures. So I was debating, you know, since I haven't been on the bike for 2 weeks, should I do the whole distance? And the smart guy, if you've seen that other video I talked about, I think it's the, I can't remember the exact title, but Job Hunting Frustrations of the quote-unquote Disabled. I talked about the the smart guy, common sense on one shoulder and not so smart on the other shoulder, and the common sense guy was saying, nah, just go for it. I mean, never mind. The idiot was saying go for it, and the common sense guy was saying, I don't know, you haven't been on the bike for 2 weeks, and you know, the common sense guy always is right. But I made it home, and you know, all's well that ends well. I'm fine. This is where there's a cut in the video, because I pedaled down to the lake to wetten the old cap. So you'll see I tried to cut it with the bridge in the shot on both, you know, the tail end and the beginning of it, so you can kind of get a sense of, there's the lake on the left there that I dipped the cap in. So there's the bridge, and then we're going to cut. Bam, this is the bridge we were approaching. This is after I wetted the cap. I just let the thing record, and I thought maybe I could use some of the footage, but it's, in my opinion, wasn't really worth seeing. So I figured it's just nice streamline to just stay on the trail. Let's just keep this keep this journey going, instead of just stopping and watching me dunking a cap into the water. So like I say, you know, the trip there was relatively more easy than the trip back, because the wind was pretty much on my back, and we're just Evil Deading once again, just roar. If you've seen Evil Dead, even the remake, I mean, I think, yeah, all of them pretty much do the, you know, whatever, evil spirit point of view thing or whatever. But yeah, I was just thinking the last 3 days, I mean, I was just call me Hugh Hefner, just call me Playboy. I mean, the last 3 days, you know, I was outside doing what I like, you know. The last 2 days I was on the kayak, and I figured I'd be biking today because, you know, in the forecast it said that today was going to be extremely windy. Obviously that's not, you know, favorable for kayaking or being on the water unless you want to get blown all over the place. So I figured that Monday and Tuesday, if the forecast was correct, I would be the kayaking days, and then today would be the biking days. So everything all worked out, and worked out fantastically. So as you can see, you know, if you like the country and just the wooded settings, I mean, this is just a fantastic, amazing trail. Like I say, I started biking this right at the end of in the first part of this trail, you know, this first part of this video, which is the first part. I think I'm going to call all three of these the same thing and just be like part 1 and 2 and 3. So in the first part of this video, which should be called Biking on a Beautiful Spring Day, you know, part 1 of 3, I mentioned my history with the bike and the reason why, you know, I got back into biking after, you know, being a kid and all that. And I mentioned that I got this bike that I have now, and probably in September 2004, and that's when I started biking this trail. And just like so many things, like, or September 2003, excuse me, I got the bike. And as I mentioned on that video, the following year in 2004, like halfway, or it was actually early, like maybe the 6th or the 9th of July, I believe, is when I got to kayak. So that wasn't as close to the end of the season as, September 2003 when I got the bike. But what was I going to say? Oh, I was going to say, yeah, so the summer of 2004 was the first full-on summer that, from spring till, fall, I biked this trail. And it's just, it's just an amazing trail if you like the country like I do. You bike out into the country from more of a suburban area. And I gotta tell you, if you've got enough in you, like I kind of did today, a little bit, to go all the way to the end and back, I mean, it's really invigorating. Even just in the spring without the fully green, trees and vegetation and all this and that and stuff. Wasn't really, I don't know why, but there wasn't really many people out, which I don't really mind, I guess, today. And no one that I passed who I, sensed that they were mad at me for passing without. I guess I could announce myself, but I don't know, maybe it's a little bit of that social anxiety or whatever. It's just kind of like, I guess my, attitude with biking past walkers is just like, you're not gonna, I can understand biking or signaling when you're passing a bike because, they're on a bike and I'm on a bike and they could, fall over, get startled, whatever. But I mean, a walker, they're not gonna fall over, or at least they would have less of a chance, I would imagine, of falling over or getting startled by me passing. But it might be the wrong attitude, but it's just like it never really even occurred to me to say on your left to walkers, because I don't know, I just don't see it as a whatever. I could be wrong, I might be in the wrong here. I'm willing to admit that I could very well be wrong. I guess the best way to go about it is just to announce it to anyone you're passing, regardless if they're on a bike or walking or crawling or whatever. In the grand scheme of things, that would probably be the best thing to do. But I imagine we're kind of, looks like we're wrapping up here on part 2. I mean, admittedly, there's not too terribly much to see. I mean, it's kind of just more of the same. But if you appreciate, like I say, the country and a bike/walking trail that goes through the country, you might appreciate these 3 videos. 3 when I get the 3rd one uploaded, of course. Because right now, well, I shouldn't say that, because you could be watching this when the 3rd one is uploaded, so whatever. But like I say, very windy today, and on the way back it was even more windy, or it just seemed like that, maybe because I was going against the wind. But I mean, it was just like, holy Toledo. Did you like my stop there? There wasn't nothing coming, so I figured. But I really like this stretch right here. It's kind of open, and when the sun, there's a little bit of sun, as you can see by her shadow, and when you're topless and stuff and you're wide open here with no shade, it's like, and the sun's out, it just beats on your top of your shoulders and back, and it's just like, yeah, summertime. Look at that speed. I mean, that's like crazy speed. Like I say, I'm overdoing it, and I'll, like, on the way back, I'll regret all this hardcore huffing it. But like I say, I made it back, and we're coming to the close here of the second of 3 biking videos that catalogs the full, more or less the full, the more, I guess, the most interesting stuff of. I mean, there's a whole 15 minutes or something where I'm, pedaling to the trail, which is just not even worth doing. So basically, it's the whole trail experience is going one way is documented in these 3 biking videos. So thank you very much for watching, and if it's uploaded, be sure to check out, if you're interested, the final one in the video in the trilogy. The part 3 of the biking.